Let's talk about the laptop from hell. First, I want to start by reading a couple of quotes from Joe Biden. His first quote is, "It is in our self-interest that China continue to prosper. We want to see China rise. A rising China is a positive development. China's a great nation, and we should hope for the continued expansion." So that's the basis of where I'm going to take this short conversation. The media has done us a disservice by not informing us of something that could potentially jeopardize the safety of the United States. But I just want to maybe educate you, because I've had stuff that was fact-checked, shadow banned whenever I post anything on social media in regards to the laptop from hell. So let's talk about the laptop from hell. So back in the 90s, Clinton was president. 90s into 2000. So I was on a deployment in 1999 when people in different countries knew where I was from. They would say, "Oh yeah, Bill Clinton," and because they knew all the rumors. They knew that he had been doing some bad things with an intern. And a lot of people back then said, "Hey, it's his private life. It doesn't matter. Leave him alone." I've always understood, especially when I went into the service, because even a lowly private in the Marine Corps were told, or I was told, blackmail's a big deal. It's not that your lifestyle is in question or anything. I mean, your morals are your morals. Do whatever you want to do. However, when those lapses in judgment can compromise you in regards to somebody can hold this over your head and get you to do things that you normally otherwise wouldn't do, then that's a big threat. Back to the laptop from hell. A lot of people didn't report on it. Hunter's a troubled kid, and I totally get it, man. I've read some of the things that he said. Dude was very, very troubled. Still is, I guess. And I feel horrible for him. But that doesn't negate the fact that he poses a risk. Some of the videos and some of the pictures and things that I've seen, that can be held over Joe. So if you know that you've got things in your past that can compromise you, you should do the right thing and either come clean, which Joe has not done. They've denied it. They've never said, well, they haven't even denied it. They just totally ignore it. And the media hasn't been reporting. This is the same media that reported on a PP story of Trump in a Moscow hotel. And they won't report on something that they can see with their own eyes. They won't report on videos and images and words and phone numbers and text and all these things that are like, my gosh, if you can't believe, they're asking you to not believe what you're seeing. So yeah, you see it, but it's not what you're seeing. It's Orwellian. That's the big deal that has people kind of concerned in regards to, well, will they be able to use this to kind of control what Joe does? Will they be able to say, hey, you only had, 3 hard drives, or now 4, I think. You only had those hard drives. We've got gigabytes of data with people in your administration, Joe. In China, their government is very repressive, and they are expanding at a rapid rate. They're they're creating islands in the South China Sea. And that's monumental. That's on par with, the building of the pyramids. They're building bases in the South China Sea to, house troops and military equipment and whatnot. They're very, very ambitious in regards to dominating the world. So we've got the son of a former vice president, the son of a current presidential nominee that is absolutely and completely compromised. What would you do if someone came to you and said, hey, I've got some very incriminating stuff on your kids? Would you probably, you kind of, and especially with those in politics, they're very egocentric. Their images to them is everything. So What would you do to protect that image? That's the big deal about the laptop from hell. So if you're on the fence, and I know I'm only talking to the 3 people that are going to watch this video, 2 of you have already made up your mind who you're going to vote for, but there's 1 of you out there that you're not sure. You watch the news, you don't like how Trump's handled the virus, but you do like how he's handled the economy and doing some miraculous things in those regards, but you're just not sure who you're going to vote for. If you care at all about the security of the United States, if you care at all about our sovereignty of not having anybody hold anything over an elected official's head to get them to act in opposition to our interest, then you got to vote for Trump. You just got to. I've seen estimates between $38 and $50 million spent to try to prove Russia collusion, which that's a whole different topic. It was all fake. They spent that much money and they couldn't come up with anything tangible. All they had were, low-level officials or people that heard things, or there was nothing direct like we have with the laptop from hell. They had no pictures, they had no video, they had no phone conversations, they had no text messages, they had no emails. Everything that we have in regards to Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, they had none of that. And we heard for 3.5 years that Trump is a Putin puppet. Sort of like they were kind of projecting. It's sort of like the left were projecting onto Trump what they were themselves doing. So please, when you go in that booth and you exercise that sacred right, keep these things in mind. You can see how China manipulated the NBA to completely go against some of their own, what I thought were their own core beliefs. I mean, remember, China has concentration camp for Uyghurs. Their minority Muslim population. They just throw them in concentration camps. Our entertainment industry is controlled by China. They're willing to look past, hey, yeah, these people are organ harvesting, suppressing dissident beliefs and voices. That's China, man. That's the CCP. That's where this virus came from. So please, when you go in that voting booth, think on these things. Think, I'm seeing everything that they're saying about the laptop from hell. I'm seeing how maybe this stuff could be used, and we haven't seen it all. I'm seeing how these things can be used to sway the way Biden operates, and they can turn them to operate. China can turn our own government to operate against the will of us, the people. We say it every election cycle, but this literally is the most important and consequential election in the history of our country, because we really do. We're on the cusp of being controlled by an adversary, China. And we've not even scratched the surface of what Ukraine may have on us. We haven't even scratched the surface on what Russia may have on us, because Russia and China, they're not buddies. They're going to jockey for position in, Russia's interest is not China's interest, and China's interest is not Russia's interest. So our interests, obviously, are neither of those interests, but whoever can manipulate the levers of power in this country will rule the world. Period. Vote like your very life depends on it. Vote like your very life depends on it. They've got Joe. He's compromised. He is literally a national security threat. He's a threat. He's not a risk. He's a threat now, because we've all seen the images and videos, and this stuff's disturbing, man. It's very disturbing. So go out there and vote. I'm voting for Trump. You vote for whoever you want. If you're suicidal, vote for Biden. If you think there may be hope for us as a nation, vote for Trump. You're going to see 4 more years of record-breaking everything. So get out there and vote. Thanks for watching. Probably one of you is left, but hopefully the one that's left is the one that was on the fence, and now I've kind of given you some more things to think about to help you make a more educated decision on who you're going to vote for.